Every Polytopia player knows that when you level up a city, you get to select an upgrade. But one of the things that separates casual players from pro players is knowing which upgrade to select in any given situation. In this video, we're going to discuss what each city upgrade does, and which option you should pick given several different circumstances. Mastering this skill is essential to improving your game, and it's going to make you a better player. Let's get into it. When you upgrade a city to level 2, you can choose to take a workshop or an explorer. Choosing the workshop gives your city 1 extra star per turn, on top of the default one you get for upgrading a city. Choosing the explorer reveals some of the fog near the city. The upgrade you select depends on a few different variables. Getting 1 extra star per turn matters a lot more in the early game when you're at 6 stars per turn versus something like 36. Having a good economy is essential in any Polytopia game. After all, more stars per turn allows you to upgrade more cities and train more units. However, the vision gained from explorers can help you preserve stars. If you know what units your opponent has and where they are, you can put your units on tiles where they won't become free kills for your opponent. Furthermore, having vision on your opponent's cities will allow you to plan an efficient way to siege them, rather than mindlessly throwing units at them and hoping you capture one. Also, having vision on unclaimed villages will allow you to capture them quicker by using riders and roads. Overall, you should try to find a nice balance between workshops and explorers. Consider going explorers in cities that are near the opponent to get an idea of how their cities are laid out and what units they have. Also, you can go for an explorer in your second or third city for some early expansion with riders and roads. Otherwise, just take a workshop. Workshop is generally my go-to. When you upgrade a city to level 3, you can choose to take a city wall or resources. A city wall gives units with the fortify ability a 4 times defense multiplier while on the walled city, while resources simply gives you an immediate 5 stars. This choice is one that I'm very passionate about. If I read one more comment calling me an idiot for not getting a city wall in every single city, I'm going to drink a V8 Black Cherry energy drink and ruminate on why I still play this godforsaken game. Oh crap. By default, you should be taking resources over city wall. And here's why. You have to consider the value that 5 extra stars gives you. You can use those stars to upgrade more cities to level 3 and get more stars. Then use those stars to upgrade cities to level 2 and take workshops for even more stars per turn. Next turn, you'll have even more stars to work with. By now, you've probably noticed that we're talking about stars a lot in this video. Here's what you need to know about stars. Stars are the foundation your empire is built on. Stars allow you to train units to smack your opponent, and research texts that will allow you to smack your opponent more efficiently. Generally, having more stars is good. A city wall doesn't help you get more stars. The only thing a wall does is incentivize your opponent not to attack the city with weak melee units. Here's the thing though, if you had just taken resources on every city, you would probably be the one on offense, or at least not relying so heavily on defense. City walls aren't useless though. They can help protect vulnerable cities and give you precious time to fortify your position. An example of a useful city wall is shown in this GullYY game here. So, consider a city wall in border cities under threat of being captured. Otherwise, just take resources. And please, for the love of God, do not get a city wall on your capital. If you're at the point where you're relying on a wall to protect your capital, you've already lost. When you upgrade a city to level 4, you can choose between population growth or border growth. Population growth simply fills 3 sections of the city's upgrade bar, essentially a 6-star value. Border growth expands the radius of your city's borders by 1 tile. I would argue that choosing an option between these two is the most difficult option among all the upgrades. Taking border growth in a city does a lot more than simply giving you access to more resources. For starters, it removes tiles from other villages that haven't been captured yet. This can be good if it means you're taking tiles away from an opponent's city, but really bad if you're taking tiles away from cities you would have gotten anyways, because you're potentially missing out on some cheap upgrades for them. Border growth also gives you much more control over parts of the map, and gives you safer places to position units. This is because enemy units can't use roads in your territory. Having a few central cities with border growth can be essential for winning out late game positions where knights dominate. Another thing to consider is the number of giants you can get from a city with border growth. If you have a centrally placed city in the early to mid game where border growth allows you to get 2 giants versus 1 from population growth, consider going for border growth. The 2 giants you get can be great at locking down some of the contested villages between you and your opponent. Be careful though, you shouldn't take border growth just because, oh, with population growth I can get 2 giants here, but if I take border growth and get organization, farming, and construction I can get 4 giants in 10 turns. You need to determine if the stars spent on those 2 extra giants would be worth it. The stars you save from getting 2 more cumbersome giants could be used to support your initial giants with knights, archers, catapults, etc. At the end of the day, your goal in any 1v1 is to kill more units than your opponent can make and capture their capital. The route that will let you do that most quickly and efficiently is usually the correct one. When you upgrade a city to level 5 and beyond, you get to choose between a park and a super unit. A park gives you a couple hundred points, while the super unit gives you a big 40 HP giant, unless you're playing a special tribe. This one only really needs discussing if you're playing glory mode. Obviously, if you're playing might, just take the super unit. If you're close to winning a glory game, maybe within 1,000 points, you can go for a park. Giants are still a viable option though, especially if your opponent is overly focused on points. You need to consider the potential point value a giant can obtain. If one of your giants takes a city from your opponent, not only are you gaining points from the city, but your opponent is losing points as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully now you have a much better idea of which city upgrade you should select when you're upgrading a city. If you're looking for another video to watch, check out this video on push order. It's essential knowledge that will help you win games. If this video helped you out, be sure to hit the like button down below, and subscribe for more helpful Polytopia videos. If you'd like to support myself and the channel directly, you can become a channel member by hitting the join button down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a spectacular day.